Why did I say hello? I meant to say, here we go. My brain just said hello. Can you tell I've got a headache? can you tell? But it is a big match for all involved here tonight. In Elena Claire and Apathy. Of course, winner of this goes through to the semi-finals. Apathy, who's been on an absolute tear throughout the World Cup. You know, coming off the back of a pretty bad run in form before the World Cup, but, you know, has kind of rediscovered herself in this format. And, of course, Elena Claire, who just about sneaked into, you know, into the knockouts, but has been able to kind of show that it wasn't a fluke. You know, after she picked up the win against a big star in Diego Barbosa last week. And she'll be looking to beat another, you know, MCW original in Apathy here tonight. Apathy goes for the springboard, but Elena Claire catches just beforehand. And the drop kick to send Apathy down.
Snapmare. Oh, face first. Exclamation point drop kick. That could make an opening for her. We're seeing one response after another. Neither superstar gaining a foothold. Off the ropes. Off the ropes. Caught her. Oh.
Elena Claire taking it to Apathy here very strongly.
Mounting a downed opponent, and look at them go over and over and over again. And a slap for the exclamation point.
It's been all Elena so far, but Apathy getting that quick kick up. Trying to get back into this, but Elena dodging the grapple of Apathy. And going in for the pin early. One. Kick out at one from Apathy. She'll take a lot more down. Of course, normally Apathy is accompanied with Annika. And you know, the only match in the World Cup she has lost was when in the group stages when Annika wasn't accompanying her. But of course, Annika focusing on her own match tonight. Maybe that lack of company ringside may negatively affect Apathy. I mean, it did last time. Maybe Annika's a bit of a lucky charm for Apathy. And a code breaker from Elena Claire into the pin. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2 from Apathy. And Elena going to be looking for that spinning back fist, and she lands it. Goes in for the pin once more. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2 again at the last possible second. I mean, with it being that close, there's no way in my head that's not the resiliency use. I mean, that's if Apathy even has resiliency. I actually have no clue. I don't really remember what paybacks everyone has. And a chop to the chest of Apathy. Apathy really needs to get a bit more offense in this if she wants any chance. I mean, this has been a completely different Apathy than we've seen basically the whole tournament. I mean, we've had this dominant version of Apathy. But the springboard there from Elena Claire missing. And Apathy taking the chance to get on top of Elena Claire and rain down the punches. Apathy's now getting hyped up, throwing Elena towards the ropes. Puts up the elbow to send her back down to the mat. Elena rolling up though, with the jumping headbutt from Apathy. Never landed that springboard. Some moves in the game just don't really work properly, unfortunately. I had a similar thing not last game, because technically 26 is out, but in 24, I had the problem with Francis's first ever spear. It just never hit. But it wasn't even like a reversal thing, like very similar with Elena. It's not like it always got reversed, it would just miss. And Elena with the reversal into the arm drag. Avoiding the Future Shock DDT from Apathy. suplex from Elena Claire to Apathy. Put Apathy with a punch to the gut of Elena Claire. As she goes, she went for the clothesline, but she's caught into the power driver from Elena Claire into the pin. 1, 2, and another kick out at 2. Never mind, that could be the resiliency use. Great match so far between these two. The resiliency of Apathy refusing to go down. I mean, it's what we expect with a veteran like her. Goes in for a backbreaker. No, a leg drop there. Yeah, but the ref does that all the time. It's just a dumb fucking glitch in this game, isn't it? Elena, I think, was going to set up for that spinning back fist, but Apathy dodging out of it into a backbreaker. Or a backstabber, sorry. Going in for the pin. But a kick out before 1 from Elena Claire. Apathy can't believe her eyes. Apathy trying to take Elena into the corner, but Elena getting the elbows up to prevent that. Throwing her into the ropes. And a drop kick to send Apathy crashing down. Oh, is she going to go for the springboard again? And it lands this time.
Heading to the outside now. Goes under the ropes and into the ring.
As she moves Apathy a bit more away from the ropes, repositioning her. As she waits for Apathy to get to her feet. And Apathy gets the elbow up. From the clothesline. Into the clothesline. Into a leg takedown. Apathy going for the pin. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2. And locking in the submission on Elena Claire now. But Elena Claire getting her way out of it. And the big drop kick now. Elena rolling towards the corner of the ring. And Elena getting the elbow up. And the jumping heel kick. Into the pinfall. 1, 2, 3. Elena Claire advances to the semi-finals. And she has booked her ticket to Tokyo Skirmish. An incredible match between these two. As Elena Claire advances into the semi-finals of the World Cup. It was a brilliant run from Apathy, though, in this tournament. There was a lot of time in this tournament where it looked like she could have been one of the favourites. Especially when she started getting back into the match as well later on. As Elena Claire will be facing one of Noah Morrison or Olivia Black in the quarterfinals, or the semi-finals, sorry, of the World Cup in Tokyo Skirmish.
Here is your winner, That's the kind of win that
And what a story for Apathy, though, managing to get that close to Tokyo Skirmish. I mean, she did really well in the first ever tournament in MCW. But I believe as well, correct me if I'm wrong, this is the same level of when she got eliminated in the first tournament we ever had, which was the World Championship tournament at the beginning of... Alright. Annika versus Wayne Evans. Annika as well, you know, she had an impressive performance in the Brawl for All Rumble match. I believe getting 2 eliminations. But could you make the debate, though, that her not being ringside for Apathy's match could maybe be one of the causes that Apathy struggled in that match? Of course, you know, Annika, in every win that Apathy's had in the World Cup, Annika has been there. As this match starts out with chain wrestling. And Wayne Evans returning with a bunch of strikes and chain wrestling linking in once more. And the back body drop. Kick out before 1. Going for the pin, kick out at 2. The leg sweep into the submission hold. But Wayne Evans fighting his way out of it. And the power slam. She climbs up to the top rope. And a lovely diving stunner from the top rope. Going in for the pin. 1, 2. And a kick out at 2 from Wade Evans. A spine buster. And I can get in the quick kick up. And the hip toss. Running to the ropes. And the sliding clothesline to Annika. And the springboard moonsault. Annika preventing the suplex with the elbows that are pushed to the face. Goes to run towards Wayne. Wayne dodging out the way. And another leg sweep into a submission. Will Wayne get out of it once more? And Wayne Evans taps out to Annika. Annika wins via tapping out Wayne Evans. There's Annika beating... Here we go. Welcome, Cassidy. It's all good. As we go into Roxanne versus Doug. Cassidy, what you missed. Elena beat Apathy to advance to the semi-finals of the World Cup. And Wayne Evans just lost to Annika. Oh. Roxanne taking it to Doug Foster here early, but Doug immediately flinging her down to the mat. As they link up in some Midnight Chain Wrestling. Oh. And they're running power slam from Roxanne to Doug. And then into the suplex. And the roll up from Doug Foster. But the kick out before one from Roxanne. Throwing Doug against the ropes. She leaps over. And the pop-up punch from Roxanne to Doug Foster. Roxanne locking in the submission. But Doug Foster breaking the grip. Roxanne catches into the power slam. Doug Foster rolling up. But Roxanne dodging. But now Doug getting out the grip of Roxanne. Into the underhook suplex. Roxanne rolling back up. Solid back and forth between these two here. Look, oh no, I don't think it is a submission. Looked a bit like one though. Running from rope to rope into the splash. Rolling out. Roxanne rolling up back to her feet. She gets Doug Foster up, but Doug Foster fighting his way out. And a clothesline to send Roxanne down. Roxanne locking in another submission on Doug Foster. And Doug Foster seemingly breaking his way out. Or Roxanne letting go of the hold. I couldn't see because the fucking referee was in the way as usual. Doug rolling up with the forearms into the clothesline. Front slam to the mat. Slamming Roxanne down to the mat there. Targeting the knee of Roxanne. A lovely springboard move there from Doug Foster. Planting Roxanne back down to the mat again. Going in for the pinfall. 1, 2, and a kick out at the last possible second from Roxanne. Goes for the backdrop. And a running clothesline from Roxanne. Over the pin. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2. And the coffin drop into the pin. 1, 2, 3. Doug Foster picks up the win. To be fair, you say that, but Annika won. Annika beat, you know, Annika beat Wayne Evans. Got to be the Mad Dogs. There we go. Opportunity for Impact Theory to stamp their authority on that tag division with their debut here, but also the chance for Free Radicals to get their first win after picking up back-to-back losses since debuting. And a lovely suplex there from... oh, I don't remember these people's names. Oh, fuck, what is their names? Oh, I don't have a clue. I know it's Hakeem something. Hakeem Rakeem. I don't think it's Hakeem Rakeem. What the fuck are they called? Going for the pinfall. What are their names? Where the fuck are they? Hakeem Ramen. So Hakeem. And Kira Knox. So Hakeem and Kira. Right. Cool. I can try to remember that. Well, listen, they haven't debuted yet. It's hard for me to remember their names. Once people have debuted, I generically then get very good at remembering their names. But the referee's been knocked down. No, it's Kari, isn't it? I thought it was. It's Kari, not Kira. It's Kari. It's Kari Kelly. That referee's just been knocked into, like, oblivion, by the way. I mean, the logo on fucking Kira's gonna have to change next season. Because that's AI as hell. Going in for the pin now. Kick out before one. Your AI. Oh yeah, am I, Casey? I would absolutely love to see AI, right, back a Carlin when Matthias Mane scores a screamer from 20 yards out, and then, you know what I mean? I'd love to see them. And then belt out fucking Mr. Brightside at 4 in the morning. Hunchco99. Hey, welcome to the stream. I believe that you are new. I don't recognize your name. Thank you for the follow. And a kick out at 2 from Hakeem Ramen. Yeah, I'm new. What you've joined in is a tornado tag match. Impact Theory, which are the ones in the black and yellow, they are debuting here tonight. And then you've got Free Radicals. This is their third match in the company, which is MCW, Midnight Championship Wrestling. I nearly called it Chain Wrestling then. So yeah, these are two of the newest tag teams on the scene, trying to both make names for themselves in this match. Bren Brooks going for the pin on Hakeem, but a kick out by 2. Kari Kelly bringing out a sledgehammer, using it on Kira Knox. Technically, if no next season we're watching you play against a friend. I mean, as in, I did specify as in, like, no AI, like, art. Like, no AI art or generations. I'm pretty sure I did say that in the actual, like, ban list. I'm pretty sure it's to do with the art. I'm pretty sure I did put art in there. Kari going for the pin on Kira. 1, 2, and it gets broken up by Hakeem very last second. Huncho, if you're interested in seeing more about MCW, if you in the chat type in exclamation mark Discord, it will give you the Discord link to join and have a little look. This match has been slapping so far, to be fair. It has been pretty good. Tag matches rarely disappoint, though, in MCW, to be fair. When we actually have a tag scene, it's decent. We'll give you money. We won't. We will. No, we won't. We definitely fucking won't. I have been... Listen, you could just tell that to John. John's tried to ask for money for booking, you know, a little cut, and I've told him he can get fucked. Any money from MCW is mine and mine only. It's a little, you know, reward for the fucking, like, 20 hours a week of work I put in for it. Free Radicals have been pretty dominant for a while. And Kari Kelly has just hit Ben Brooks with the chair to the stomach. Clearly a miscommunication there. And Ben Brooks dropping Hakeem onto the knee. But Free Radicals still standing relatively tall here. And a big suplex from Ben Brooks there to Kira Knox. I can see a regular tag team match actually works compared to... I'm assuming you mean 2K25, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'll have to do a bunch of tests and stuff. If it works, then it works. Because I would love to go down the regular tag route. It's just because in this year's, in 25, it just didn't fucking work. Like, and then when it did, the matches just took 47 years. And jumping from the top of the rope to the axe handle to Kari Kelly on the outside. It's Ben Brooks and Hakeem, though, who are going fisticuffs in the ring. And planting Hakeem onto his head. But Hakeem with the white noise. Going in for the pin on Ben Brooks now. 1, 2, 3. Kari Kelly runs in to try and break it up, but just can't get there in time. I think the problem with Free Radicals right there is they had so long to try and hit pins, and they just weren't hitting it. Like, they were just not going for pinfalls near the end of that. They were dominant for the final, like, pretty much the final, like, 3 minutes, and just not once did they go for a pin. Cheers for pinning that one, Brad. Appreciated. Hitting the Burning Hammer just to lose is absolutely insane, by the way. Oh. I mean, to be fair, does anyone in WWE actually hit the Burning Hammer and win? I feel like every time they pull out a Burning Hammer in WWE, it never ends a match. Hold on. All right. Can Gavin keep his rise through MCW as he has made that adjustment to the from the tag division to the solo division quite well since the World Cup? That's their theme, innit? Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. Sorry, I keep getting fucking messages. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2 for Frankie Vendetta. Really? Oh. Going for the pin. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2. And then going in for the pin. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2 from Gavin Storm. Yeah, he has heritage from Italy, which is why he represented Italy, because we already had someone representing Canada. And we needed the nations up. And Frankie getting the knee up. A closed line to the chest. And planting Gavin in, going for the pin. 1, 2, 3. Frankie Vendetta just beat Gavin Storm in very dominant fashion. A huge upset. Also, what's going on with Gavin? Because he lost his match against fucking Olivia in like 2 minutes as well. Top 5 entrances is a really good question. Kim's definitely in there. Going for the pin early. 1. And a reversal from Olivia Black going for the roll-up here. 1. It's so difficult because there's so many that I like that bringing it down to a top 5 is so hard. I think I'd go... I think Kim is my favourite. I think Kim has my favourite entrance. I think it'd be Kim... I mean, okay, I'm not going to do an order because I genuinely don't even know what order I'd do, right? I go Kim, Ronan Wolf, Noah Morrison, Max Black, it's either Free Radicals or Andre Cruz for 5th, I think. Maybe even Leon Grimes. I like Leon Grimes as well. But anyway, focus back on this match. One of these competitors will go to the semi-finals. And will go up against Elena Claire in the semis. To make their way into the final. Two of the most upcoming rising stars in MCW. And of course, Ronan Wolf's obviously with Ronan Wolf. Noah Morrison, we've already spoke about, has you know, an incredible record against international champions. And Olivia getting out of the grip of Noah Morrison. And I think Olivia was going to go for that DDT, but it's a reversal from Noah Morrison. 2, kick out at 2. Yeah, true. He is. Ronan Wolf is currently off. I mean, can we even say he's in the entrances? I mean, listen. As much as we hate to admit it, because we don't want to give loads of attention to previous people in the Fed, but like, you know, especially people that just randomly left for no reason and, you know, caused a lot of shit by doing so. There is a man that needs to be in the shout when we're talking about best entrances in MCW history. There is a man that needs to be spoken about because the fucking entrance had just unprecedented amount of aura. And you all know exactly who I'm talking about. Who the fuck is Patrick Dunn, MD? Who is Patrick Dunn? Yeah, Casey, even you know. Michael Shaw's entrance was something of... It was just so good. It was so fucking good. It's definitely the best entrance of former cores, that's for sure. Like, out of former wrestlers. I think, genuinely, in my head, when you think of the former wrestlers in MCW with the best entrances, right? Michael Shaw, Alison Reed, because Alison Reed was a banger. Oh, hang on, Olivia going in for the pin. 1, 2, kick out at 2. I think you would probably put in Serena just because of how perfectly it worked. But I told you about. Yeah, Michael Shaw was a massive star. It was unfortunate that he just randomly fucking upped and left one day. Took his ball and went home, literally. He's not in the match card, he is there. I can't give it to Jack Collins because his theme played when I nearly destroyed my entire setup by accident. 1, 2, and Olivia not getting the pinfall off on Noah. Noah kicking out at 2. There was big plans for Brad versus Shaw. Was there? And Olivia locking in the sleeper. But Noah Morrison with the stunner to get out of it. Was there big plans for Brad versus Shaw? I don't remember that. Y'all weren't even on the same show. How were you discussing it, Brad? You weren't even on the same show. You were on different shows. There was never any discussion over Brad and Shaw. The most that we had was that maybe the only thing I can think you're talking about is that they obviously were going to face each other at standoff at the time, because at the time the discussions were happening, they were the current world champions. Oh, well then there you go, that would make sense. I mean, none of you made it to standoff champion naturally anyway. You both lost the title naturally before then anyway. Noah Morrison with a power slam to Olivia Black. As Noah now goes in for the pin. 1, 2, 3. Noah Morrison beats Olivia Black and he advances to the semi-finals. As Noah Morrison beating another international champion. And that's your semi-final, your first semi-final for Tokyo Skirmish confirmed. As it will be Elena Claire versus Noah Morrison. New Zealand versus Greece. Alright, we have the made man, the star, Brad Collins versus the rising star, Helga, who has been very dominant throughout this tournament. They start with Shea Wrestler goes. Brad's got a massive advantage having the entire of the Fallen by his corner. Go for the roll up. Not even a 1 count from either person there. but which one will advance to the semi-finals of the MCW World Cup? And a front slam for Brad Collins into another. And Brad Collins planting Helga down to the mat. A kick out at 1 from Helga. Going in for the pin. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2 from Helga. In Germany versus America, which one will go through to the semi-finals? Locking in the submission on Brad Collins, but he manages to fight his way out of that. As all the Fallen watch it on eagerly. Of course, 2 out of the 3 members at ringside actually have a match tonight. Henry King, who's facing Tyler Six, and Jack Collins, who is facing Emily Hamilton. And Brad throwing Helga over the top. Crashing to the outside as he goes to the top rope. You don't want to see the big man go top rope. And a huge shoulder tackle from the top rope to the outside. But Helga immediately pushing Brad Collins off. And a kick to the stomach. Rest of the Fallen reacting a bit dramatically. And Helga throwing Brad into Reagan Knight there. Pushing Helga out of the way. And a forearm to get Helga off. Helga with the roll-up, though, on Brad Collins. 1. Kick out at 1. And Helga locking in the submission on Brad Collins. But the referee calls for a rope break with Brad's feet underneath the ropes. Going for the pin now. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2 from Brad Collins. And the clothesline from hell from Brad Collins into the pin. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2 from Helga. What an opener this has been. Both competitors giving their all to reach the semi-finals. And a second clothesline from hell into the pin. 1, 2, 3, and that's all she wrote. Brad Collins advances to the semi-finals at Tokyo Skirmish, where he will be facing one of either MD or Masaki Ryoki to fight out for that spot in the final. She did take Brad down to the wire. But a big star like Brad Collins is always going to be a hard one to topple. There we go. Ryan Ross going up against the debutant, Eric Revenant. Okay. Eric Revenant looking strong so far, but Ryan Ross getting some elbows into the stomach. And a super kick. Kick out 1. And using the ropes as leverage, but Eric Revenant pushing him off immediately. Has Ryan won his last few matches? No. I know he beat Harvey Besides that, I don't remember. I just remember him getting a win over Harvey. I think he was Harvey's first loss. Hits the axe kick. See, Eric seems cool, but he's gonna have to change a lot until the if he was to come back for the next season, because he's doused in AI. And after the splash, going for the pin, kick out at 2. Doug, you are going to be fine next season with not using any AI in your calls, right? Because, like, I kind of just have to double check, because as far as I recall, or as far as I realize, I'm pretty sure you're the only one that actually uses AI in their calls. I'm pretty sure. I don't recall anyone else. I could be wrong. I've not really looked at the fold, but I think that's the case. I know a bunch of people used to use AI back in the early days, but find someone to do my logos and stuff. Look on Twitter. There's a lot of people that like do logo and call work, like work for calls and stuff in on Twitter for relatively cheap. Like, I'm talking to a guy at the moment over potentially getting some attires done, and he's only charging like a tenner. And Ryan Ross picking up the win over Eric Revenant. Oh, to be fair, Doug, you know how you were talking about titles and stuff? There's a guy on Twitter who does titles for like a tenner. I mean, he's not doing them. He's not like opening commissions up for them for a while. But the only problem is, I know he hates AI, and I know your logo's AI, so he probably won't do it. But if you didn't have an AI logo, you'd probably be able to get him to make you some titles. They're very good quality from what I've seen. I'm never calling it X. Ever in my life am I ever calling it X. But Ryan Ross picks up the win against the debuting Eric Revenant. Anyway, I am 4-5 tonight. Huh? What do you mean 4-5? Oh, right, yeah, 4 of your calls have won. I mean, You know me, I'm always the guy that will be brutally honest about things when people make changes. I don't personally understand the Emily Hamilton change. She kind of just looks like a woman. Just, she just looks like she's going to try to pick up her kids from school. She should just be wearing normal clothes. Go over the pin 1, kick out at 1. Why does she have the word lone written on her ass? I'll be honest, Doug, you might have to explain this one to me, because I'm not getting it. She's the lone wolf. But it just says lone. It doesn't say lone wolf, it just says lone. That's why I'm a little confused. Jack Collins going for the pin. Kick out before 1. Yeah, that's the one thing I'll give the positive. The moveset is definitely better. The moveset seems to be better than what it was. And I don't mind the new theme song either, but I think there's definitely some... personally, I just don't see it. I don't really get it. She just looks like a normal girl to me. I think the problem that I think that's what it is. I think it's that it's like Emily Hamilton was like a character that had quite a lot of personality, and I feel like the personality's been kind of taken a little bit. Kick out at 2, you know. And like I'm always, you know, I'm not just dogging on people for the sake of it. I'm trying to be constructive because I want what's best for everyone's cause, but like I know that you said that you wanted like a new kind of change up for Emily to kind of get a bit of, I guess, positive change, but I'm going to be brutally honest, I think it's going to be very hard to capitalize on any level of momentum when she kind of just looks like an everyday like soccer mum. I think that the fact that there's like 2 different sections of red, like a lot of red in her entrance. You know? Like, again, I'm not trying to come across disrespectful. I'm really not. But I'm saying this from the perspective of, I know, Dog, you made these changes because you wanted her to catch a lot of momentum and change her fortunes and stuff, but 2 and a kick out at 2 from Jack. But I will always tell people when something they do, at least in my opinion, is a hit or a miss. I think this is a bit of a miss. I mean, the moveset's better. Like I said, I'll give you that. The moveset is much better. Like, she wrestles a lot better than she did before. But, like, her overall presentation is miles worse. You know? That's mainly why I did change her a bit. No, but, like, no, Doug, what I'm saying is, I'm saying that this current presentation that you've changed it to is worse. Like, I get she wasn't on, like, didn't have the greatest momentum and stuff before, but at least, like, she had personality. Like, you could look at her and be like, that's Emily Hamilton. This just feels like a woman. This is just some woman. 1, 2, kick out at 2. And to be fair, I also don't really think she needed a change, to be honest. She was on a good run. Like, she was winning pretty much, like, all of her matches since she moved over to KLASH. Like, she was easily, definitely propping herself back up into that, at the very least, mid-card scene. And the coffin drop from the top rope as Jack Collins goes in for the pin. 1, 2, 3. Jack Collins takes home the win. Alright, we have Erin G going to the back of her impressive group stage in the World Cup, going up against the forehead D-Way. Bone. Yo, welcome. Hi, Bone. You seem new. Welcome to MCW. How are you doing? We currently have a Araminji versus D-Way taking place right now. Oh, I've just seen bad news for D-Way in Season 2. I've just noticed an AI logo. Oh. I've noticed it. It wasn't just Doug. I lied, apparently. I mean, you can have a logo, just don't make it AI. You know? Oh, yeah, the free radicals animals. Not animals, fruits. Yeah, it's just because basically, I mean, I touched on it a bit on the announcement, but it's basically, I'm against AI in any forms of creative spaces because I think that it is, well, it's just inherently moral because you cannot. Yeah, at the end of the day, my thing is that eFeds are built around cores, right? Core stands for create a wrestler. If you're using AI images, if you're using AI to base your core's design, you are not actually creating anything. You know, you're not. It's not your creation. So, and it's also just because I'm so against it. At the end of the day, MCW is it's my thing. It's my community. So it'd be very hypocritical of me to be against something and then kind of allow its usage in the server, as that kind of just directly contradicts itself. And you know, being complacent is being complicit, you know? But these two having a very good little match here, though. Very back and forth. Also, you need to bring back the fucking D-Way podcast, by the way. I really enjoyed those D-Way roleplay segments, and I feel like and I was kind of disappointed that you stopped doing it because the World Cup was like the prime time to have something to talk about with it, you know, like the World Cup, the Rumble as well was like easily stuff you could have done podcast segments on. And I think that they would have been really great. One, two, and a kick out at two. And bring it back pronto. I think it's just because, like, I think it's one of those where it's definitely killed a lot of the momentum that D-Way has. Because I think that a lot of... I mean, the reason, for example, that I was booking him against some decently big names not long after he debuted was because of the promo segments. Because I've said to people that, you know, the work they put in and stuff like that, I value a lot more than just as simple as wins and losses, right? Because at the end of the day, we're a community first, and I would rather promote people's activeness in the community, whether that's roleplay, turning up in streams. I'd rather reward that behavior than, you know, just as simple as, oh, you win matches. Like, granted, there's levels to it, you know, like, if you've lost, like, every match, I can't really just throw you in a world title picture, but, you know, we're quite lenient on stuff like the mid-cards and stuff because, you know, we like to reward the activity of people who contribute to the community consistently, you know? And I think that D-Way's podcast segments were really cool. They were very enjoyable. I read every single one. They were great. And he did a lot of great character building for D-Way as well. A lovely maneuver there from RMG, going for the pin. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2. You know, D-Way was actually doing, like, a really good job at, like, I think, like, standing out, you know? And the roll-up getting reversed from D-Way here. 1, 2, and a kick, and another. Is this another reversal from Eramin-G? It is. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2. Oh. To be fair, I need to get back on to doing more roleplay stuff. I've just been so busy because of the new game and stuff, like working on stuff for MCW Season 2, so I'm not having to rush it when time comes. And the Soul Snatcher from Eramin-G to D-Way. As she goes right in for the pin. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2 from D-Way. Look forward to seeing how the MCW titles and arenas will look in 2K26. Well, I have the arena ready. The titles, I'm still waiting to get back. I am commissioning them. Spending quite a bit of money on them. And the military press spine buster from Eramin-G. 1, 2, 3. She picks up the win against D-Way. They turn out to be AI. No, I've done my research on the guy. He does not use AI. I would never commission an AI artist because you are not an artist if you use AI. The pig is no longer with us. These are very sad times. The pig? What, the one that got out? Oh, don't tell me the pig died. Brad, don't tell me that, because that's going to make me really upset. I fucking love pigs. Please don't tell me that. Pigs are literally my favourite animal. Don't tell me that he died. He didn't die, did it, Brad? Alright. Tyler 6 versus Henry King. Of course, both other members of the Fallen that have competed tonight have picked up a victory. Henry King will be looking to do the same against Tyler 6 here tonight. Going for the roll-up early, kick out before 1. And a roll-up from Tyler 6. 1, kick out at 1 from Henry King. A lovely springboard maneuver from Tyler 6 there. Of course, Tyler represented Wales in the World Cup. Chops to the chest of Tyler 6. I'll tell you something, yeah. I'm going to be hella fucking bored after stream, you know. I'm going to have absolutely nothing to do. Because John's MIA. MD's watching Revolution. I don't know where the fuck my boyfriend is. And the camel clutch locked in and a tap immediately from Tyler 6. Henry King picking up the win. Ow. It's a very quick routine win for Henry King. We got the finisher of the future for him. Listen, I told you that I did say a while back that he needed a new finisher. We go Mizaki Ryoki versus MD Silver, the main event of Clash. Of course, MD Silver has a massive advantage going into this match in the sense that, you know, this show is hosted in Madrid, Spain, his home country. The country he's representing in this match. But when you're talking about home countries, it's Mizaki. If she wins here, she not only makes it to the semi-finals, but she will be doing it in her home country at Tokyo Skirmish, her home city. She is from Tokyo herself. Goes for the spinning back elbow, but MD moves out of the way as they link up into some chain wrestling. to start off the pace of this match. Of course, we talked about it before. Masaki has been arguably, I don't even think you can really disagree with the sentiment. She's been the most dominant competitor in the World Cup so far. Only losing one match. She only gave up 3 points in the entire group stage. In the round of 16, she won her match within mere minutes. Against Ronan Wolf, making him tap out very quickly. MD moving backwards out of the way to dodge the slingshot maneuver from Masaki Ryoki. And the arm drag, but Masaki returning with a punch to the gut of MD Silva, going for the roll up early. 1. No, not even a kick out at 1. Stomp to the face of MD Silva. Going for the springboard, but just too much distance between her and MD Silva. MD gets the legs up. Masaki rolls right back to her feet, catches the elbow from MD Silva, throws him towards the rope, and a big back body drop from Masaki. Goes to take MD towards the corner, but MD gets those elbows up into the stomach of Masaki. Now raining down the punches to the face, unleashing as much violence as he can on his opponent. It looked like he was going to set Masaki up for a H-bomb, but Masaki gets a quick punch to the face to get out of that, taking MD Silva towards the ropes here. And using the ropes to assist in choking MD. And the snapmare into the Devil's Kiss to MD Silva. She goes in for the pin. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2 from MD Silva. Almost looked like MD was caught very off guard there, and Masaki would have took it early. And strike after strikes after strikes. But caught the leg. Returns with strikes of his own. I mean, this is two of the best strikers in the business here. And the Black Mass. From absolutely nothing into the pin. 1, 2. And a kick out at 2 from MD Silva. Masaki Ryoki was just this close to becoming the final semi-finalist for the World Cup. Returns with a knee. She ate a punch. She did. She ate a punch and returned immediately with the Black Mass. Pop-up kick to the chest of Masaki Ryoki. MD Silva targeting the knee of Masaki Ryoki with multiple elbow drops. Picks Masaki up, but Masaki gets a kick to the chest up, and now returns strikes of her own, but the hip toss from MD Silva. And a big punch to the face of Masaki Ryoki. And MD Silva throwing her against the ropes into the Torpedo Moscow. We've talked about how not many people kick out of this move. 1, 2, and she kicks out. Joining that list. But is returned into a clothesline to Masaki Ryoki. Still just raining down the punches on the face of Masaki. stomping out the chest now. MD Silver try to do whatever it takes. Of course, we've said that he's doing it for his tag partner. And the jumping clothesline from Mazaki to get back into this. Goes in for the pin here. 1, 2, 3. She won with a normal move. Yay. Very anticlimactic. I fucking love when that happens in this game. How phenomenal. But Mazaki Ryoki is your final semi-finalist in the World Cup. And she'll be going against Brad Collins at Tokyo Skirmish to try and make it into the finals. And it's all for that World Championship spot. Spot at Final Destination. As she takes home the win against MD Silver. And she will be representing her home country in her home country. And now it has to be said, with the dominant